Ciao, and welcome to week 25 of The Sweetest Kind of Death. This week, it's the illusion of prestige without control. When I worked at Irvine BMW, I made myself a promise. I would not stand under another tree. At Mitsubishi, I had seen the tree of negativity, where salesmen stood waiting, complaining, killing time. At BMW, the fields stretched empty in front of us. The south side of the Irvine spectrum was still undeveloped, years away from Elon Musk planting Tesla's flag there. The land was barren, but the skies were alive. Night after night, the sunsets painted the horizon in colors money couldn't buy. And while the sunsets were free, the car business showed me the cost of ambition. Bell to bell, open to close, long days that blurred into nights. And then there were two desk guys, two men who ran the store, Tony Abadessa and Louis Goff. Wonderful, sharp, commanding. They knew how to take control, how to turn the pen, how to make or break a deal with a sentence. I learned from them. I admired them. But I also knew I didn't want to live forever at somebody else's desk. The restlessness that I had endured forced me to leave Mitsubishi's weekend warrior gig, forced me to leave the insurance and investment sector. I had kept on asking myself, was I making the right decisions? Why do I keep jumping around? But something about the car sales held me. It wasn't the cars themselves, it was the people. Unlike the investment world where relationships live over the phone, the dealership was face to face. Handshakes, conversations, the eyes that you could read, the stories you could listen to. That kept me rooted. So I set a goal for myself. If I became one of the top, I would earn my BMW. But if I became one of the top in the country, I would make it my symbol. But another frustration lingered. I did not like not having control of my day. I didn't want to stand around waiting for an opportunity. So I created my own. And that was the invention of the Lease-End Department at Irvine BMW. At the time, lease returns were simple. People brought back their cars, the factory shipped them to auction, the value slipped through the cracks. I wanted my own space. I wanted to lead and build relationships with my clients that could last a long time. And in this environment, I saw the gap. So I created the lease end department. We ran ads in the newspapers, just like I had done in the insurance sector. We invited people to bring their lease returns directly to us. Instead of watching the value roll onto a truck bound for auction, we turned those returns into fresh opportunities. The clients profited by either keeping the car that they loved or trading it in for a new, greater version. The dealership profited because they did not lose a client to a competitor. And ultimately, I profited. And most importantly, I had carved out control of my destiny, my time, and I was in stewardship of leading my clients. And this is the realization moment of this chapter and what has gnawed at me. I saw a lot of young men, some less skilled, less driven, making 30,000, 50,000, or even $80,000 a month. They were buying or leasing BMWs themselves, living the life that I thought I was chasing. I was doing well, but not like that. Not yet. But control always has a tug and pull relationship. The leadership at BMW changed once again. Tony and Lewis were gone, and in their place came a group that was not morally connected with me and my clients. As I saw control slowly slip away, I began to prepare my mind to continue seeking change and opportunity through knowledge. So I fine tuned my plan once again. I began and studied. I prepared myself and I went to go back to school to get my real estate license. I had seen so many people at BMW succeed through real estate. So I began to connect the dots for myself. And that's when opportunity knocked once again. Not through me, but through my wife, Asal. She had been working as a loan processor for a company called Omni Home Finance. Connected through her friend Sunny, she was thriving, and before long, they recruited me. It was another pivot, another leap, but this one carried a deep anchor. My wife was already there. Our lives were weaving tighter. My career was no longer just about prestige, it was about building a future together. So here is the reflection or the mirror in this chapter, the illusion, that prestige without control. The BMW badge, the suits that I wore, the sunsets that I saw, they look like success. But if you can't control your time, your energy, or your path, prestige becomes another prison. What I learned was this: true success isn't what you drive, it's who drives your day. So, how does love and the bank reframe prestige in this way? When I look at love through leadership, through stewardship, control is the stewardship of your time, not just your image. When I look at love through opportunity, through creativity, creating that Lease-End Department was proof that innovation builds the freedom that one seeks. When I look at love through a vision that unites, Asal's path into Omni became mine too. Our visions were aligning. And ultimately, when you look at love through empowerment, which will lead to enrichment, empowerment is buying that BMW. Enrichment is building the future with someone by your side. And in our bank of time and trust, prestige is a deposit slip with no interest. Control is the true compounding wealth. So here is our practical reflection of this week. Where in our lives are we chasing prestige without control? Are we chasing a title? Are we fond of a brand? Are we looking for a greater paycheck? Ask yourself today, do you own your day or does somebody else? So here is the kill move for this week. Step one, identify one area where prestige is masking a lack of control. Step two, ask, what system, like my Lease-End Department, can I create to reclaim the power? And step three, within 48 hours, take a step towards it. And step four, like always, record this as a deposit. Control, not prestige, is real wealth. And here is your closing candle for this week. Prestige is the car that you drive, control is the road that you choose. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you next week. Ciao.